is really shitty. So, okay. I don't know how to.
Okay, is everyone ready?
One sec. I am ready when you are.
Alright, so everyone ready?
Yep.
First, I define a pluralistic account of value, which means that different objects, properties of the world that are valuable, that they are not reducible to ultimate source of value. For 8, common sense everyday experience seems like we value lots of different things for different reasons. If I ask you why you value friendship or pizza, I get different answers. The answer of the better justifies some bondage that cannot reduce all value to one term, good explain how all goods are valuable. For that reason, this independently takes out consequences and other frames to reduce value to a single good, and different value must be treated differently. People are valuable and not in the way pizza is proper, while respect we requires treating people in ways that we recognize as justifiable. Scanlon 98. Our concern is to be concerned about justifiability for actions to others, but we speak of value with some objects such as grandstanding or whalesy. I'm reminded there's a reason to preserve and protect those things and experience them in the right way so that we will feel the force and properties to make them valuable. Recognize the value of human life is also a matter of seeing this bad thing. A reason for sadness we go out when people are killed or when their life go bad. Human beings are capable of assessing reason, justification, and proper respect for this thing. Value requires involves treating them only in ways that they could recognize as justifiable. This co-opts cognitive information that explains what it means to treat someone as an end in itself. Also, justifiability to others escape the argument from disagreement and conflicting moral views as evidence to relativism. The normativity must start from general reasons, must be accepted or rejected by others. Absent, my framework we have to accept conflicting views on morality based on disagreeing agent points of view. This is how ways if we accept one contradiction, we accept all statements as true, since you could switch the first half to the destructive render any second half true. Further, we can recognize the reason to remove pleasure and reduce pain as part of our justification to others, but simply maximizing and minimizing begs the question of the right orientation towards this value, which requires a larger framework. Second, we use to justify actions on the basis of reasons that are generally applicable principles. This accords with everyday judgments of right and wrong, which appeal to principles. Scanlon 98. Justification to proceed in ways principles to justify an action is to offer reasons and defeat objections to this. It's also to defend a principle within one reason there is sufficient ground for doing, therefore for so acting under the prevailing conditions. That captures everyday judgment of right and wrong. Typically, judgment about the wrongness of action or that is wrong for some reason quite different from other types of value of judgment, such as something as ugly or funny. Once some action just seems wrong there, it's pressure to come up with explanation or withdraw judgment. Thus, ethics is the question why principles can be justified to other. However, it's not about justification that people actually accept them. You could have particular desires like enjoying pineapple and pizza, but that doesn't create a moral obligation for me to order Hawaiian pizza. Whatever people actually accept would make morality over demanding and impossible to apply as a guide to action. So instead, we narrow the scope of action and how action should be justified to what people can reasonably reject. Scanlon 98. Could not reasonably reject must be distinguished from what they actually do or will accept. A field of actual agreement cannot be from motivational basis of morality, since there are obviously cases in which acting morally requires one to resist the prevailing consensus of the victims are convinced that the interests are much less important than those of others. They may be happy with much less, but it does not follow from the fact that they accept your action as justified. Thus, the criterion is Scanlon's contractualism defined as abiding by principles that no one could reasonably reject. Clarify, the framework only cares about individual reasons, since general welfare, other equity goods are reasons that anyone could reject on the basis of. The framework presumes that actions are moral unless the resolution is based on principles that could be reasonably rejected, since this is implied from the form of ethic, and since it would be counterintuitive to assume every action is moral. Hence, irresolvable contention weighing affirms, and the independent justifications. 1. The criterion cannot be denied without contradiction. Part 9. Scalonian contractualism may seem undeniable. Suppose they claim the actions that they just by some principle no one could reasonably reject. I deny that such acts are wrong. This may seem a contradiction, though I'm rejecting the principle. I'm also conceding that rejection is unreasonable, and if my rejection is unreasonable, it cannot be justified. 2. Moral motivation. Any framework must answer the question why be moral, otherwise A, it has no normative force. If we can ask why follow it in without answer, it can be justified in disregarding morality altogether, so it's not binding. And B, to effectuate moral decision morality, guide to action must be prompt people to follow them. Contractualism explains phenomenologically the reason why the wrong of action provides you a reward. It's not because of higher order framework, but instead the way wrong actions are just injustifiable in concrete ways to other people. Scanlon 98. When I reflect on the reason that wrongness of these things justifies, the best description has to do with relation to others. Such acts would put in me the sense that others could reasonably reject. A moral motivation is often discussed as if it were source triggered by the conclusion that acting in a way would be wrong and the ways against by competing motives. This distinction model is false for the facts and moral experience. Being moral involves not just being moved to avoid action because they may be wrong, but also be moved by more concrete considerations such as she's counting on me or he needs my help. A contractualist account can explain these facts means the source of motivation that identities justifiability to others provides a hard way to shape our process of practical thinking. 3. The framework is common sense. It's basically putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You should you take on the perspective of the other agent to understand what's best. Contention. I defend the resolution as a general principle while dealing my advocacy will not dealing my advocacy in fair one. It's the opposite. It's more specific. Plea bargaining does not operate on principle that no one could reasonably reject. Hence, inevitable defendants can reject on the basis that A, it's arbitrary and creates different outcomes for different people. B, coerces defendants to have full information into accepting guilty pleas. Further, voluntariness is meant in the context of plea bargaining. Hypothetical defendants cannot accept the principles on which plea bargaining is based because they lack meaningful consent in a system where prosecutors have all the power. This diminishes due process rights which can be reasonably rejected. Back off. 14. The prosecutor has the power that suggests that plea bargaining is a voluntary contractual arrangement infinite is total myth. One party can force its will on the other party. There are no regulation controlling exercise of power, no process for killing exercise of power. A system that is secret and vice versa. A secret system of plea bargaining first is one-sided. Our system is premised on one stay in court, i.e. a jury appears. The second, the system of plea bargaining is a product of secret negotiation and is subject to almost no reviews. Such system invites arbitrary results. Third, the system by creating pressure to enter into plea agreements seeking to have the defendants to plead guilty to crimes they never committed, even though they were innocent. They committed capital offenses to sought to avoid the death penalty. Itself is predictive psychology operates in non-capital offenses as well. This is a widespread problem. The pressure of the situation causes an innocent defendant to make a less than rational appraisal of transfer acquittal and plead guilty. Defense provide false confession because they cannot take the heat. And it's not about whether prosecutors actually force defendants to give a bad bargains, but they have the ability to use. So if the slave master gives their slaves some freedom to do what they want, the slave could still reasonably reject their slavery. For this offense to as and counterclaims do not operate on the basis of general reasons, principles that apply across various contexts. Scanlon 98. Assessment of rejectability principle must take into account the consequence of acceptance in general, not in merely particular cases. Since we cannot know which particular individual will be affected by it, in which ways, as an agent, a victim, a bystander, and so on, we must rely instead on commonly available information about what people have reason to want, i.e. generic reasons under view. First Amendment, it happens at the theory but doesn't win, they shall vote after. To clarify this applies even if they don't win because of reasonability. The app doesn't have to vote the theory shall win out substance, especially since most negative collapse for 6 minutes. Any ability to collapse first time to get to other links fairness because it's quantifiable, verifiable. Second, app gets voting a theory, otherwise it's infinitely abusive, which always a magnitude. Also, drop the rate of the true or too short to drop the argument, have a fair shot at substance. The notion in our RBIs, the 6 minute one will spread out, so there's no way to check these. Third, use reasonability with breadline in structural abuse. Clarify, we care about burden level disparities. Anything else is relevant. 8, infinite regress. Anything that collapses you make debate part, which is just with good arguments. 2, only structural abuse. Claims establish a line between abuse and strong argumentation. B, verifiability. Substantive abuse is vague and unquantifiable, so it can't be weighed. That kills resolvability. Structural abuse claims solved. It's simply a question of burden level disparities. So I didn't read the C point and under.
So the add-on abuse and then didn't read anything else.
Yeah.
That should be it.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Ready? Okay. Let's talk about the first spike. What does it mean? So is this just if I don't win my offense in the shell, like, you should win regardless of whether or not you read a counter trigger or whatever?
Yeah, unless it's like drop the arg or something like that. I would say it would only apply for like drop the debater.
Okay, that's fine. And the warrant for this is just time ski?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about the contention first. If plea bargaining still happens after the app is done, why vote app?
What?
If shadow bargaining happens, why vote app?
Intention.
Okay, how do we verify an intention?
Well, I mean, it's like, or I mean, it's about like the sort of principle that you would endorse.
Right. What constitutes an intention?
Well, I mean, it's not exactly intention. What I'm saying is more principle. Like,
alright. What constitutes a principle someone would endorse?
Yeah, one that no one could reasonably reject.
Right. How does one know that?
How does one know that?
Yes.
No
how do you know that you can put forth a principle that no one can reasonably reject?
How? Well, okay. First, we appeal to these sorts of universal objective reasons.
Okay. What is a universal objective reason that everyone holds?
For example, that like it is bad to coerce other people.
How do you know that? How do you know that everyone holds that reason?
Because as like an extension of our agency and what it means to be people, like it is bad to coerce us.
Right, you have not answered the question. How do we know that every single other person in the world who could be potentially subject to the principle?
This is just a very... Wait, what?
How do you know that every other single person that could be subject to the principle you put forward?
I mean, this is just a fact of human nature and our nature as agents.
Right, why is it a fact? Where in the ACB warrant that that's a fact?
Well, I mean, first of all... Okay, first of all, I think that we do have some sort of intuitive sense of what things people could reject or not reject. Second of all, even if that weren't true, there are still like certain things that come as part of our agency, for example, that would warrant us accepting and rejecting. And as humans, like avoiding all these different things that we all share.
Establish a moral fact?
What?
How does contractualism establish a moral fact?
What do you mean?
How does the AC framework label things as morally good or bad?
Yeah, based on whether people could reasonably reject them or not.
Okay, that's fine. Wait, so what is the basis for someone reasonably rejecting something?
What do you mean?
What if someone's just like, I don't really feel like doing this, and they reject it? What constitutes
a reasonable basis? Because that isn't appealing to some sort of reason that...
Right, why? Why is that true?
Because it's just something that's contingent upon your position. Like, it would depend. Like, this is the Hawaiian pizza example. If I'm like, I love Hawaiian pizza, suppose that so it's like, if I love Hawaiian pizza, I can tell you that you could still reasonably reject it, even though my contingent interest is
what are conditions that constitute a reasonable rejection of a principle?
What if you appeal to some sort of reason that other people share?
Okay. Wait. Wouldn't every individual person's reason for rejecting a principle be different? Like how could
no, not
like
necessarily.
why not?
like I explained before, we're just going around in circles here.
Right, because the AC pyramid makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
That's cool. It's great that you think so. I'll start now. Explain the Parford argument about contradictions.
Yeah, so basically, if you try rejecting it, then you would think that you have reason to reject it, so you could reasonably reject it, but that would concede like the validity of the standard.
Okay, stop at 49. It's going to be NC AC terms. On the AC, there's going to be overview should flow on a separate sheet of paper.
On the AC?
Yeah, on the AC, it's going to be an overview that you should flow on a separate sheet of paper, and then AC pyramid top down, and then some terms. Just email this out. Okay, I sent it out. I just have to reopen.
How much prep did you have?
49.
I got it. Did you all get it?
Yeah, so I'm just opening it.
Okay. Ready? First law is the NC nature, laws of moral commands, demands, and default associated with obedience, because if you point this create a law of no explanation that is called a hard place, it's not even right, because the only way to raising especially obedience by enacting norms or laws can be justified to all people regardless of their beliefs. This can be divided to be pointed to all individuals, and only value those who are actually motivated to cooperate with one another. This standard considered mutual response for first. Political authority to be compatible with those subjects to government legitimity must be subject to subjects. It must be the reason that subjects who are stated possible for a free person to do so. There's nothing justifies subjecting a free person to that authority. Second, the AC ring clause. The firm cannot properly get action to put exciting, no matter how persuasive they reward each other. They won't be persuasive for everything. They create a war where any good reason that's why they should report the reason taken to after review because there's reason are not intrinsic to the constant should verify this. For example, there's no clear delineation of war against the reason rejecting principle. That yes, that's not this. There's also vote negative under the NC. They don't have the authority to abolish people. The opposite, exact opposite of the defendant judges and criminals all have legitimate objection. They're overlooked. They're Bergman and Berman, right? For defense, principal benefits receiving a lighter sentence for less severe charge, people running for both prosecuting defense, some control of saving money, getting a jail, having fewer less serious offense than one direct, avoiding households, avoiding publicity for judge, the firing for accepting people to remove along crowded calorie prosecutors also concerned about cloud counsel because people concerned much quicker and overcrowd less work in the trials and also easier than on the prosecution for the Colton from the this is true people want to keep people in jail G13. 62.5% of Virginia people are being inappropriate about the remaining voters evenly attributed to makes people running fair, just rather than opposite to the beyond case, that's the extent argument on the thing. You should reject all one or two shows. They put this to speech. Only one should respond to one of your words. You have two speeches about our which means it's unfair to you. More time about it. Also, people that if you should one or two days time to use it. You have something to go for one or two, which was on the same response. You say you have to have something to use one or two. You do it for 1 performance 22 over 18 and 10 times 1 which means it's possible for you to recover the also see but one of the results there's no theory no answer. True reconsideration of one or flips or means he says that he's in some scope for a bunch of one or flips. The true cannot function you have to represent the one or flip that can be explained into a new way that you also people the ace spectral you can treat a bunch of preemptive aspects. You know, the one is actually going to actually all my institutions on my week or my teammates to my teammates week also your aptitude which is that if I were to see that would be successful to your also give us all these armies your previous result in introducing marriage one if you also include these armies in your one if you shall prove because that means that I can never justify your wire practice that person no you generally offense one if you shall you justify your practice going to resolve it first also negating starter actually skip the 8 point that's not true because you have even appearance also you have also you have so you can structure it's emotion you also people the after you can totally do something you can do switch you can get that one thing but also you have see the after pretty much like controlling but your theoretical debates also controlling the entire nature strategy because I have to choose which interpretation in the ACT meter to validate the structure strategy but according to also frames are hard because there's no time you read but the arguments to make arguments also because even if there's a different allocation time you have the first like you can take some arguments also put it to but also having you have that definitely makes it easier you can just write one of those contextuals you any other reading against it so it's your fault if you didn't properly also people want that there's no side by you should not value this is all because one is that one is that not everyone's saying that not everyone's going to be anti terms or against the Scanlon so there's no reason to the there's no reason also you should have ever stopped here because all these are really good they're not going to be side by against anyone now let's go to the AC first on Scanlon 98 it's like the top of it first. The mutual tolerance is a hydrogen being tolerant key to justifying principle that other people reasonably reject. But don't justify principle that's tolerance all other people all other instances. Obviously your principle is something that can be reasonably rejected. Also like if I prove exactly a couple instances which people run into something that proves the AC can be reasonably rejected. This ever clear what constitutes reasonable rejection of the AC principle. So he's explanation into the AC you should have the negative because it's his job to explain the parameter. If you can't do that then you should reject also there's the AC ring club saying if you're because there's no people there's no way to verify empirical conditions which constitute reasonable rejection. He says that he said you should not look at empirical conditions. Empirical conditions are the only way we can verify. The only way we can determine whether something can reasonable rejection. Also, you cannot universalize your empirical condition whether or not you can feel something action because the different conditions different. For example, rich people might be able to play higher action. They never consistent average. So poor people will probably not be able to do so. You have to look at empirical conditions. That's a contradiction. They says that you should also put that's the big point. Also, really two arguments. Also, you can have every intention. You can have every intention. He said you should have the AC3 intention of action. You can have every intention. There's no way to determine what someone's intention when it's not action because only they can tell you they can be lying. So that should reject. Also, people even potential matters. It's a question of even potential matters. If I demonstrate to you instances in which people feel when it's good, then those actually now in your intentions. So you're there's an idea to defend. So now let's go to the second scale on the scale on 9 so you said that we have to career rules that generally applicable. One constant individual was embarrassing. There's no he didn't like he not offer sufficient explanation. What kinds of generally applicable rule? For example, he says that we have the unified future reason. Have no unified future restriction reason. Also, do not constitute specific rules. Specific matching people are to also you have to include empirical conditions. So that's you determine whether people like that. You have to look at empirical conditions. So in order to determine whether something is generally applicable, even a constant Robert's question. Look, assessing the status standpoint of how things are on the scale. Also, let's go to your over demanding argument. Scanlon 3 versus that. Overrating the justification of ethical theory is good because you have to show that the justified ethical theory actually can generate obligation. Obviously, you can just can't kiss people on Twitter. Why they follow the second thing. If you're in fails, people can just fake reasonable justification. Justification on that's the reason why we should reject the East Goal. If we take the intent of the ACR arguments on peace value, that means any could make a reason why they can reasonably reject the principle. For example, Robbie could be like, I'm lazy, I don't want to do my homework, and they reject the principle of doing your homework. So that can happen to us. That means any should fundamentally question all the principles they see. So you should reject those arguments. Now let's go to the turns. First, turn banning people into shadow brain, which now we're for defender to look into the attempts by being clear, but now like use up the struggle. Implicit people anywhere to word by defense, you go to the acquisition, life defense, you know that explicitly securing consent with the state three parties noted the spectre of black market writing counter the rigid constitutional that would prohibit prosecution for acting for lighting and stealing simple defense. Only that unhealthy substitute to would rather patch people back in the shadow. This means that people will still happen in the event of the applicants that all the deaths still happen. Also, second turn, the master and child leads to more false conviction. Look at the three. Criticism failed to articulate how the criminal justice could function in the absence of the future. Criticism people also threaten disaster consequence for the broader criminal justice for example, assuming consequence research of the living creature negotiation, but also something to dramatic certainty in every child in order to cope with the systemic pressure of the multitude and new child's portrait, needs to prevent the legal scope of solving curtailment outbreaks and increase the rate of false conviction. Third, turn, forcing child simply further exacerbates inequality legal research allocation, definitely turn the academic, obviously inequality for real, would have previously rejected the 8th principle, Scott and Son, 92. Point of defense for those who need good legal advice. They probably have the worst lawyers' defense, and limited understanding of other lawyers come to me. We see a bad deal of watching people only worse in the situation. Charles occur greater levels of trade skill, preparation time, than legally negotiable. All the events combined more than commodities than for counterparts turn. Next turn. People money not better for defendants and victims. Wilkinson 14. Ultimately, the computers are roughly as fair as the child because they threaten shop the entire person particular events the accused of prosecuting maybe has to try closing cases because the reputational harm upcoming litigation loss of identity made therefore offer generous compromise the requirement that court should the guilty actually reason further on attempt to discredit the people of the specter of innocent pleading guilty come up and ensure superior bargaining power prosecuting and avoid this time in expensive trial cut expensive trial. I didn't get anything else after that.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm gonna save the document and put my laptop in the gun. I'm good.
Okay, so how do we determine, what if two groups of people within the political society have conflicting views? Which side do we default to?
Which side do we default to?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand the question.
So suppose that one group of people thinks that we should do A, and another group of people says that we should do B. Which should we do?
Well, the arguments that you have to be mutually tolerant. Obviously, one group of people's views exclude the other people's views, i.e., a rapist thinks that rape is good, but obviously...
Okay, what if they have incompatible
views?
Don't think so. Wait, what if they have incompatible views? So if you accept one, you reject the other.
Well, the argument is that the weighing mechanism is determining whether those views are necessarily exclusionary, i.e., the example of the rapist and then someone who has moral values.
Okay, so... Alright, how do we determine if a certain law is exclusionary? This seems to appeal to another ethic.
Well, that does, yours does too, by far. Also, it doesn't. It's just a question of other people being able to consent to a system, which seems to be the fundamental premise of the AC framework as well.
Okay, so whether people can consent to a system.
Yes.
Why do you justify that everyone has to be able to consent to this system?
Because otherwise you can't generate a universally binding maxim. People always question in a variety of instances.
Wait, okay, so
That's just
so then if some people could reject it, then it also wouldn't generate a universally binding maxim, correct?
Yeah. Well, my framework solves this question of mutual tolerance. Obviously, some people are always going to be the epistemic skeptics, and they're I don't see anything, and then they're always going to reject every maxim. Obviously, we don't create maxims for those people. We create maxims.
Okay, what if two groups have views that would exclude the other group?
Right. I've already answered this question. Asking them will not change the answer. The answer is simply that you use the weighing mechanism of mutual tolerance. If one group of people's views are exclusionary arbitrarily, then that's bad. For example,
how do we determine whether it's arbitrary?
How do we determine whether something is arbitrary? Obviously, if one group's views results in a violation of other people's ability to be tolerant, or is blatantly non-tolerant, then you can use that.
How do we know if it's blatantly non-tolerant?
How do we know if it's blatantly non-tolerant? Well,
yeah.
The arguments the rape is justifying why rape is going to indicate that it would prevent other people from being able to consent to future systems because it would violate them.
Okay. Let's talk about your Wilkinson evidence, the first one about shadow bargaining.
Yeah.
Does it have any empirics on this?
Does it have any empirics on this?
Yeah.
I think Wilkinson's the entire article cites the past abolitions of plea bargaining, Alaska, Texas.
Wait, where does it say that?
That's the entire article. Obviously, the entire article is on this paragraph card here.
Okay. Alright, I'll take pro.
Now I gotta ask a question.
Yeah. I know I'm not using flip.
Alright,
I'm like just
cool.
starting basically from that. About 56.
Much yet?
Yeah, I mean 56 left.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. I didn't hear. What's the order?
The order is the aff, starting on the contention, then the framework, and then the NC.
So easy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's the order?
AC contention, then framework, then the NC.
Are you reading new stuff?
Yeah, I sent out the doc.
Cool.
How much prep do you have left?
56 seconds.
You said starting on the contentions, right?
Yeah. Is everyone ready?
Do not
not doing nearly enough work on the contention against the other bracket of 14 evidence of plea bargains already happened on your right because you do not have any judicial oversight, which causes massive coercion, which is a very bad thing for defendants. This also turns anti because it proves that defendants could it links the ACs and proves that defendants could reasonably reject that sort of coercion. It also turns anti and proves that plea bargaining is not mutually tolerated with the sorts of idea that they defend. They never said why this didn't link to the anti proves you definitely prefer the one-error analysis since it obviously does link this also to non-unique solve their offense. It proves that there's already implicit bargaining that's happening since there is virtually no oversight anyway. Takes out the first will evidence also that doesn't recite any empirics where it's actually expanded. Don't let them say that it's some other thing because they didn't include those citations in the card or no, and there's also no way to tell which sorts of case study they're talking about. So that takes out the Wilkinson evidence. The second Wilkinson in Scotland Institute's evidence. Plea negotiations are prolonged, take up loads of course sources of time and cause a length extended length of trials begin with. L. 83 plea bargaining has increased and been surrounded by time consuming court membership. Plea bargaining has led defense attorneys to file absurd pre-trial motion because every motion added helps to secure better plea prosecutors and plea charges so that when defendants refuse to trial, lengthening plus this leads to alleged vacant courtrooms as defendants delay acceptance of the offers until shortly before cases were scheduled to be trial. Has led to frequent court recess for negotiation. That also turns out and proves that the jurors and etc. couldn't reasonably reject this principle. It is not bad for them since it would in fact decrease the amount of cases they have. Also, courts are already clogged now. Because things like the war, because of things like the war on drugs and the opioid crisis, etc., which prove that all their arguments are not unique. Anyway, now they see that it leads to an inequality of allocation of resources. They say it leads to an inequality of allocation of resources, but empirically denied by places like Alaska where it did not lead to that sort of thing. They say it's beneficial to since it happens in the shadow of the trial. No, it doesn't happen in the shadow of the trial since they always happen underground and outside of the trial. Also, defendants don't get good legal counsel in the first place because they are basically coerced into doing it. Definitely begs the question if I'm winning by break-off evidence. They also can see the Scanlon 98 evidence which shows that since we need to determine general principles to follow instead of specific ones, which will apply also under the NC, proves that even if plea bargaining can be good in specific cases, we should focus on the generality, which is that it would be bad. Which is that it would be bad. That's the only way to tell since we can't look at every single particular empirical circumstance. This is not saying that we should deny empirical circumstances, that just we have to choose ours widely. Now, onto the framework. They can see that they don't tell the argument from disagreement since since obviously people have subjective interests that they go against each other. They are not able to explain what it means for one view to be more correct than others, which proves that we have to accept conflicting views of morality, which means we accept all statements if you switch the first half disjunctive and render any second half true. That proves that the app is true, and now roll it out to about the substance of the truth, false, the rest, what happens true, and negative, it's false, A ground, anything else is negative grounds, including pigs, top, CVs, etc., which makes it impossible for B textuality for me to say something is true, negate needs to show something, three wrongs to the textual brings the app negative truth, doesn't teach critical Google, except around for them to be app neg. Also, they didn't provide a roll of that, and of course, so you definitely default to this analysis. Now, also extend that we should base our principles on what one person can reasonably reject, otherwise it is overdetermining because it would have to do to everyone. They're not able to explain how they would be able to solve that, so they would freeze action which could not be justifiable to anyone. It's against everyone's interest, which also turns the NC on the highest level. They say that over-demanding is good because it means we should appeal to many people. No, I prove that you can't ever do that, which proves it's impossible in the first place. They say that people can fake rejection. No, it's just about appealing to universal principles which they don't have now. Onto the NC. I've already proved why I turned all their offense, but now to the specific arguments. The Bergman evidence it says that they have less work and money. One, I proved that case will get dismissed because prosecutors will have to choose their case strategically. Second, no one by jurors have to be part of this anyway, because they're already part of the state. The state doesn't have to appeal to itself; it has to appeal to its constituents, which the jurors, etc., are not part of. Which takes this argument out. Also, the Bergman also prefer all of my evidence since it was conceded from the last speech, especially the Rakoff evidence. They say that people support the bargain. Well, this is just a contingent interest, which is not something that we can appeal to on the basis or for the basis of policy because it's not something empirical about what they would actually support. For example, this would justify also don't vote on polls since it would justify things like slavery since the majority of Southerners supported slavery. That's fine.
Okay. Explain the truth testing argument in the way out.
Which one?
So there was like a blip argument for truth testing. You write a truth testing roll about one hour. What was that argument?
You trigger trivialism because you don't solve the argument for disagreement. This was all in the app.
Okay, what is the argument for disagreement?
It's that people have conflicting views of morality, like this is evidence of relativism. You don't provide a standard for resolving that sort of thing, so we'd have to accept conflicting views of what morality is. It means we'd accept conflicting statements, which triggers the principle of explosion, which is what I explained in the app, which means we'd accept all statements as true, including the app.
Okay, cool. Or you don't need to flow it. Then the trivialism argument, AC framework returns. If I have extra time after that, I would read NC, but honestly, I doubt it. Okay, ready? Two places you can comfortably vote negative. Firstly, you can vote negative on presumption. You can see the multiple arguments why the AC framework fails. If the AC framework fails, then you can't have any offensive round. You should disregard the trivialism argument that I'm going to get to later. Also saying that both of you made arguments of my framework is false, so you can see the reasons why my framework is basically conceding the same purpose as your framework. So my framework is false, your framework probably is also both the frameworks are kind of fake, to be honest. Also, there's a couple reasons why your framework fails that are conceded. I.e., people can reasonably reject maxims arbitrarily, like Robbie can just choose not to do homework because he's a lazy person. Also, even if you want all the arguments why the AC framework is true, you can still negate on turns. You can take all the turned offs. Also, I don't have to win the turns are legitimate because if people just believe them, i.e. these authors believe them, they can reasonably reject a maximum. You never have to prove that. We don't have to prove that. Oh, justify why are reasons for rejecting maximum are like true, just that they're reasonable. If people can believe this, then there's a reason to true, then there's reasonable rejection maximum. You not wait against this. Also, you said conceded AC offers, but then you conceded all the turns. So obviously, the turn have to do weighing on the turns. So you can just recontextualize often. So those are turn perception arguments. There's trivialism argument first. If trivialism is also true, then there's a very problem. It didn't just say you wrote out. So that also true, which is that it is true that you would affirm, it's true that you negate. Also, you should probably negate because free men. Also, you should put negative presumption because you concede all the presumption arguments. I negating is harder. All those theory arguments you conceded from the AC or control the internal stuff. So it comes before you. Without the argument about the surface first, negating is harder than obviously the trivialism restriction proves that negating is harder because you can just use tricks in the AC that interact with the different way, which is that you should presume negative on the argument. Also, Thursday, if you didn't understand the argument of the AC, you should not like I have 1 year. So 2 hours is insufficient time to use. Then I guarantee there's going to be a great 2 year overview explaining trivialism, but you should reject it because it's a really dumb argument. Also, you definitely true presumption. It's just the ultimate true. So it is you should vote. You should vote negative, especially if you want more turns than you. Now let's go to the AC framework. Couple arguments you can see here. First of that, you can see intention not very problem, which is that there's no determine with the maximum just the first. So that's one of the ticks that your framework. Also, second, you can see that people always reasonably question the maximum. You understand? You never stop to constantly reasonable rejection of maximum. So people could always question something. People could always question something. That's the Robbie just that's the homework argument. Also you can see there's no way to verify people's empirical conditions. So that's your whether not the reasonable rejection maximum are legitimate, which is that it's probably a bad thing. So your framework that definitely doesn't solve. Also your analysis asks why this trivialism is definitely solved. Definitely false. You said we cannot resolve disagreements. No, that's false. We can resolve disagreements probably through some true framework like continuism. Just not framework introduced in this round. So obviously this is not true for trivialism. So also even if you don't evaluate any frameworks in the round, you can check who has more offense. So if I'm in turns, probably means that I have more offense. So it doesn't trigger for trivialism. So none of the AC framework arguments are particularly relevant. Let's go to your extension AC. So actually turns first because it makes more sense than context of that. All the terms conceded, I'll make the arguments in the context of this argument very quickly. The argument is simply that all the arguments I don't need to win turns. The turns just have to exist, and people can reasonably believe these things. Actually, that means they can always reasonably reject the AC maximum because they could believe and then want to reject the AC maximum. Also, you group turns. However, you fail to respond. The first is that you respond to well, the shadow break numbers just that it's at the last. However, the site isn't clear. However, later you make reference to the last without a citation. That is allowed. Then the shadow break number should be allowed. This is shadow break occurs. The entire happens on you because that happens in the then it happens in the context of the AC. Well, also shadow break underground is definitely worse than it's definitely less reasonable for people to because it's going to back, so it's going to be worse and they're not directly, which is that people not want to do you're not want to do let's put it back. Definitely turn the also you can see the false convictions. You never respond to false convictions as far as even less kids go to trial as a result of the abolition as a result of the abolition, more false convictions will happen, which probably add in the context of the framework. People never seem to back the result of false convictions. That would probably be bad for this. It's totally coherent. Also, you can see the Scots themselves have the inequality here. Responses to the inequality is on you because people running in people in Charles are equally bad. However, it's a question of being able to this is just purely false. Constance in 1992 I've established that if people go to trial, then poor people have less lawyers, and they have worse lawyers, and if they have worse lawyers, then they're going to serve more time. People that do not want to serve more time, they can people already go home to their families. Probably in return to the office. Also, you can see that you can see the fourth one. Some says it's net benefits to it's net benefits to defense your Alschuler, I think Evans is totally not responsible. The argument simply that it's net beneficial for defendants who might want to go home or may want to have less crimes on the record. This is just reasons why this is true. Also, remember, I don't have to win that all these arguments are true, or even if your turns, or even if your responses are true, it doesn't matter. People believe these things. I.e., these authors believe these things. These authors would reject your maximum, which is that the framework fails. So we would go negative. Now let's do let's go to the NC. It's just going to be extending the offensive arguments, i.e., the offense. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's put NC Bergman. This is a there's multiple reasons as to why people could potentially describe their people could potentially question the AC max. They want less terms of record. They want to go up the campus. They want to spend less money. Or judges don't want to judge them in the cases. They don't have to be cases or prosecutors want to have a higher conviction. They don't want to try to do cases. These are all independent reasons to reject the AC. Reject the AC opposite the question because people can always rationally confront them and reject the AC max. Also, your response to JLG 13 is well, we can't it's just something that we can't repose on that people don't disagree. This and people controversy, people disagree. So it's a reason why people it's a reason why we reject the AC max. It's the highest order. It directly appeals to people. So your favorite lesson directly appeals to people and determine whether or not they agree with the AC max. For instance, that is a necessity post-conflict function higher than the rest of the AC opposite. Literally asking the question whether or not they think people having is legitimate. For instance, obviously that means that it comes higher than the rest of the AC opposite. Your response to that this could justify slavery.